Eric Carter in Texas. Thank you very much. All right, joining us now is the host of Laura Logan Has No Agenda on Fox Nation, Laura Logan, and Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Thank you both for joining us tonight. Mr. Attorney General, the Biden administration wants us to believe that everything's safe, it's calm, there's no problem, there's no crisis. But how dangerous is it, from your perspective, in Arizona, what's going down on the border?
Well, thank you, Jason, for having me on. And President Biden literally said today that his administration is creating more jobs. And unfortunately, he's made the cartels more powerful. He's creating jobs for them. The cartels now are moving more drugs into this country than CVS and Walgreens combined. We know that there's an dramatic increase in homicides in places like Tucson, Arizona. We know now that opioid and drug overdoses are the leading causes of death for teenagers in our second largest county. So this is having a dramatic impact in real time in the real world. And make no mistake about it, Jason, as a result of the Biden administration's policies, this country's a more dangerous place. People are dying now. This isn't just some theoretical problem. Our kids are dying of drug overdoses, and he's empowered the cartels who have essentially seized operational control of our borders.
Laura, Bill Maloogian is reporting that the Biden administration is canceling contracts for barriers and walls. And talk about open borders. It's just another example. When you talk to the Border Patrol agents that you work with every day, their morale must be horrendous. I mean, it just must be so demoralizing to see what this administration is doing to them.
Well, it is demoralizing, Jason, and that's exactly the point here, right? They want agents to be so demoralized that they quit. Because what does that do? That leaves you with less and less and less of the institution that you really don't respect and that you don't actually want. Because if you look at it, the people who believe in open borders, the Open Society Foundations, and all of the others, right, that are of that same political mindset, they want the immigration agencies gone. They want the Border Patrol gone. They want the police gone. They want the prisons gone, and so on and so on. And what they've done here, the Biden administration has thrown the agents under the bus. But let's not forget the Horse Patrol, right? Who didn't whip anybody, who didn't do anything racist, who didn't do anything wrong, who are now, their jobs are done, basically. Their careers are over. Let's also talk about all the Border Patrol agents who are not vaccinated, who are losing their careers. At the same time, they're purging the National Guard, the Department of Homeland Security. All of these institutions are being purged of everyone who doesn't agree with the Biden administration, and not just the Biden administration, because it's all of the people that nobody voted for, the puppet masters and the people from Open Society Foundations, all the advisors and all these NGOs, right, who claim to be charities and who do charity work, but are really a kind of enforcement arm of this radical political strategy. And there are hundreds of miles of border right now that are unprotected. There is nobody having a conversation about the national security risks. And there are very few people in this country on both sides of the aisle, left and right, who actually want what's happening now. So, we're looking at a very, very serious situation where anybody who wants to can come across the southern border. And, you're absolutely right about the narcotics. This is the most dangerous time in the history of this country. And in terms of street drugs, we've never had such powerful drugs. They've never been so prolific. They've never been so easy and cheap to manufacture. There've never been more American kids dying of overdoses. And we hear absolutely nothing about it. And you know what the Biden administration is pushing for? A reduction of the minimum mandatory sentences for fentanyl. They're actually actively working to implement that at a time when more American kids are dying from fentanyl overdoses than ever in the history of this country.
So, Mr. Attorney General, they're not going to put up these barriers. They're not going to be doing the wall because of environmental concerns. But talk to me about not only the sheriffs and National Guard and others, local law enforcement there in Arizona. What are the rules of engagement for them, and how do they continue to deal with this massive push of human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking? What are they supposed to do?
That's the problem, Jason, is that they can't control the problem because the Biden administration is not doing its job. And so as a result of that, the system is being overwhelmed. So you have sheriffs now that are being pulled out of community law enforcement, our border sheriffs, that have to go and help out with people illegally crossing the border. I was talking to some ranchers just the other day down to the border, and they have cowboys. These are Arizona cowboys, not California cowboys. These are tough hombres, and they do not want to be anywhere near the border because of all the violence and all the people that they haven't seen come across these type of dangerous folks in generations. And so this is something that it's in Arizona's backyard now, but make no mistake about it, it is being spread throughout the country. And as the cartels enrich and empower themselves, I think it's going to have a destabilizing effect on Mexico, which is actually going to create further problems. So you're going to see an increase in violence in the streets of America, in our cities. You're going to see more drug overdoses. And meanwhile, the Biden administration is doing absolutely nothing to address it. And that's why me and some of my colleagues, we filed a lawsuit. We have a lawsuit right now in federal court trying to force the Biden administration to build the wall because that's what the law requires.
Yeah, and here's the Biden administration saying, no, there's environmental concerns. But guess what? You go to the Oregon Pipe National Forest, and guess what? You can't camp there. There are big signs out there saying it's too dangerous. Don't camp here because of all the illegal immigration that's going on. Thank you both for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
All right, coming